Okay. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. So this video, as you can see by the title, is going to be a very difficult one for me to talk about, but I just really wanted to share this for anyone who's going through a similar situation as me, who needs someone to relate to or just wants to check in on me personally and see how I'm doing, because I know for a lot of people it came as a shock to find out that my father passed away, because it's not something I publicized or talked about. I kept it very, very private, and unless you're like very, very close to me, even then you probably didn't know how severe it was. So yeah, please bear with me. I'm probably going to ruin my makeup. Also, disclaimer, I didn't do my makeup solely for this video. I enjoy doing makeup. It's very therapeutic for me, and I filmed a video talking about a new series that I wanted to introduce to my YouTube channel, and it just relates to mental health and me doing my makeup because I enjoy doing my makeup. So if you want to check that out, I'm probably going to put that up after this video and you can see how I achieved this makeup look. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. And I also wanted to quickly say that I have a lot of anxiety, so if I'm saying or like my hands are literally like this or like this down here, which you can't see thankfully, but please bear with me. I just really wanted to get this message across and inshallah help somebody if they are going through something similar to me or have gone through something similar to me. Hopefully they can relate and be there for each other. Okay, so this is so much. I truly don't like talking about myself, and this is a very vulnerable thing for me because it is someone who I love very much and was very close to me. So yeah, so lillahi wa lillahi rajoon, I think that's how you say it. That basically means from Allah we came and like to him we shall return, and it's something that we're told to say when someone passes away. So basically my father passed away on November 20th 2019, on a Wednesday, and he passed away from 2 types of cancers. His body just like slowly gave up. I don't want to get too much into detail because it is not my personal business to share, but basically he had on and off health conditions. He had a very serious moment for his health a few years back when I was like way younger and didn't really understand the severity of the situation, and then he had like one continuous health concern, and then he had open heart surgery at the ending of last year around this time, and from then onwards it kind of just spiraled in a way, and it was like on off again, in and out the hospital, to where it was then where he had very severe health issues and he was in the ICU and ended up passing away from like a 0 white blood cell count. So yeah. Okay, so for anyone who cares, I'm doing okay. I think obviously if you're clicking on this video, it's either to be nosy or because you genuinely care or just want to gain insight. I just wanted to, like, something I really wanted to get across is that grief comes in waves. All like this emotion, I feel like it's very hard to describe in terms of how like it feels. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for crying. I'm not gonna apologize. It's good to be show emotion, but it's been very difficult because of all these health conditions. When you find out, like I found out the day I came back from London in the summer that my father had cancer, then a few months later found out that he had another cancer. But yeah, so I wrote a poem in the beginning of the year, and it was on Father's Day because we were spending the hospital on Father's Day, and it was like overwhelming because you see everyone posting your father and it's like, does that feel appropriate to post my father in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? But just like to show how much I love him, and it's kind of hard to draw the lines. And for me, because it wasn't like a sudden death, like in the sense that like it was like, oh, everything was fine, there was nothing wrong visibly or physically, and then for him to pass away like from a car accident or like a shooting or something like that, stuff for love. But because it wasn't something like that, it was kind of, in my poem I just described, hope inshallah I'll share more of my spoken word poetry. This is a weird way to segue it, but I described how it's like mourning someone who's still alive, because when you hear cancer, it's a very scary thing, you know what I'm saying? And also I just quickly wanted to add that there are 2 YouTubers who have also sadly lost their fathers. Inshallah, Allah grants them Jannatul Firdaus, but one of them, their father passed away from like a truck driving accident last year, I believe, and it was during her freshman year of college. Her name's lillahi. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'll leave her channel down below if you haven't heard of her. And then also Subhi Taha, his father passed away in a similar sense from some type of health issues as well. And yeah, so basically it's very difficult, but I feel like alhamdulillah, and like rarely with difficulty comes ease, which is a saying from the, like a verse from the Quran. It is very difficult time, but it allows for your family. I feel like my family has come closer together, like my extended family, my half siblings, all of us. We've like put aside any petty like palava, which is basically just like dramas and issues and arguments and stuff, and just come together to support. And you know, having to go to hospital and like help pay bills and all that type of stuff, it's been a lot, especially as a college student, but alhamdulillah, there's always some good in there, and it's allowed me to strengthen my friendships. And I'm so thankful for all of my friends who are there for me. I'm very private, and also I suck at being vulnerable, so this video is very difficult for me to film. But my friends, even though even my close friends, most of them didn't know the like extent of my father's health or my father's health at all, so for them to find out, it was kind of a shock to them. But they still were amazing, and they were there for me and coming to my house, and it's amazing. And whenever people like care about me, it's just so crazy, because I'm like, I feel like I haven't done anything spectacular to deserve people's care and compassion, so when they do, it's like, oh my god, what's going on? But yeah, so I've been really thankful for that. And another thing I wanted to talk about was, especially for those of us who are in college, who are dealing with difficult financial situations, home situations, ask for help. Like I said before, I'm not very good at sharing my personal life, and there's so many resources available to us to help us out, especially in times of difficulty and need. And just speaking to an advisor or another advisor, I think it's very important, especially if we don't get that help primarily from one person. Try and find someone else. Don't like just completely shut down the idea because one person is too lost in the sauce with their own issues to try and help you. Try and find another source, and seek therapy. Therapy is really important. If you need, I feel like everyone should go to therapy, even if you don't need it. Like, go even when things are going well, so that when, if anything bad were to happen, stuff for low, like you'd be able to have coping mechanisms to deal with it and work through it. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about that. So like I was saying about being in college, like there's so much already going on, there's already such difficulty, so like just try your best to realize that your situation is different from everyone else's, and that's okay. And utilize the resources that are there, and talk to your friends, and just be open and willing to be vulnerable, and allow people to help you and allow people to disappoint you. I think it's just about not setting those assumptions about how people will react, and just allow people to react. And that's something I really had to learn as well. And another thing is, for me, because of all the like additional responsibility that was put upon me throughout the year, I wasn't able to hang out on the weekends with my friends. If I was, it was very scarcely, and I would feel guilty about it, and I'd feel like I'm not getting that college experience because everyone's like going out, having such a great time. But it's like my experience is different, and you know, subhanallah, there's everything happens for a reason. And I also didn't share it with my friends, and while they may be thinking one thing about why I'm not going out or doing this, that, and the third, a lot of them are totally fine with that understanding. But for me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I was missing out on my college experience because I was placed on responsibility I didn't ask for. And another thing alongside that is, feel the things you feel. Like, if you feel angry for this responsibility, if you feel like sad, if you feel any type of way, literally it's all a plethora of emotions. Allow yourself to feel it, and then find out why you're feeling that way. Don't just try and suppress it, because at the end of the day, it's all just gonna boil back up, and we don't need that, you know. So just try and understand why you're feeling that way, and work towards just understanding yourself better, and what you need during this time. Because I feel like it's whenever someone's sick in your life, or whenever something happens, it's always you need to take care of your mom, you need to take care of your younger siblings because they need you. But it's like, who's going to take care of you? So make sure you're taking care of yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup, you can't pour from an empty kettle, whatever the saying is. So please prioritize your mental health and your physical health as well. And yeah, so now, in terms of, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about in terms of like all of that. In terms of death and dealing with that, I'm smiling because I don't know what else to do, so it's not something to smile about. But something that is very important is just take it day by day, because for one, we never promise tomorrow. We may not wake up ourselves, and I think it's really important to just live like as however you wish to, and in the best way possible for you. I'm not saying to be careless or anything, but just take it day by day. Like I said, grief comes in waves, and there's many different moments. Like, I saw a tweet before, like I think it was the night before my father passed away, and it was talking about how like there was like him and his wife smiled about how on the bottom of the casket receipt after they lost their son, it was like, thank you, come again, you know, like little things like that. Or just like the son also had a twin, so it was explaining how, seeing how amazing their son is and how great he is like his life is, experiencing all those things alongside him. They think about their son who passed away and how he won't get to experience those things. And I think just taking every single emotion and feeling it is the most important thing. So like faith is also very important, and having people around you is very, very valuable. And I know some people don't have that, but for me, my family was there for me and helped me out, and in the sense of just being there, because I love being alone. Literally I just love being alone. So like, although it felt suffocating, I know I needed that type of people around me at all times, just for me to kind of be distracted, but also to be reminded to pray, you know, and to make dua, and to constantly be checking in on me, because I get in here a lot. I ruminate a lot, which basically just means to be deep in thought. I'm constantly and forever deep in thought. So for me, it was just about like being present in the moment. And another thing is, like, when everything was happening, the funeral and everything, I kind of wasn't as emotional as everyone else was. And for me, I know it was probably just going to come at a later time, and I feel like I still haven't completely broken down over it. But I don't know if it's just because I have like mourned him while he was still here, and kind of started to process things, even though I didn't expect him to pass away. It's so crazy because literally on Snapchat today, like, you know, it's like the year in review. It had like InshaAllah, my dad, I can be saying by this time next year that he you know, survived cancer, like beat cancer. And you know, subhanallah, he did it. But everything happens for a reason. And don't beat yourself up about it, because I know another thing for me is like all the what ifs, like what if we did this, or what if we couldn't, like, went to different doctors, or didn't allow him to have the surgery, got second opinion, all this type of stuff. Or I wish I would have spent more time with him, or anything, any of the what ifs that you may be feeling. Like, at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed for everything to happen exactly how they did. And no matter how many what ifs you can think up in your mind, nothing's going to change what has happened. And my father still would have passed on that exact date. While that is difficult to accept sometimes, it is what it is. And I think personally, we've done the best we could do in terms of supporting my family and being there for them. So that's all we could do, and that's all we did. So at the end of the day, we did what we did, and we can't take anything back. And I think it's just important to take whatever lessons or whatever regrets you may have from that past situation, and just use it for your future, and like for whatever situation that may come up in the future, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's really difficult, because you feel like, why me? Like, why is Allah doing this to me? Or you may be like, I don't deserve this, life has already been so hard, and all this type of stuff. But know that this is a test for you, and it's not easy. Tests are not easy, and it's very difficult to do and to go through. But inshallah, it brings you closer to Allah, and that is him testing you, you know, not punishing you. And it's, for me, it's just like, dang, like, if this is me at 19, what else is gonna happen in my life, you know? And you're kind of like, dang, like, I don't know how much more I can handle, because it's just like one thing after another thing after another thing. And for me personally, my mental health has not always been the best. I kind of have been struggling with it a lot prior to all this even happening, for whatever reasons. But on top of that, it was like, oh my gosh, can we like take a second, can we breathe, can we roll it back real quick, because this is a lot. But it's just like, in each moment where it feels like a lot, taking a deep breath, allowing yourself to feel, please, like, allow yourself to feel angry, to feel upset, all of it. Like, for me, it was never being upset with Allah. It was just like, it's just overwhelmed, because I get overwhelmed very easily, like I said, and I have anxiety and all that type of stuff. So having all these emotions, and like, even now filming this, I was like, people are gonna judge me. Like, when I went back to school, I was like, people are gonna think, oh, I'm being happy too soon, like, I'm not grieving if I'm not like crying right now, like. And it's just like, it's so crazy, all the things I can come up with in my head, like, which is so dumb. It's like, you don't need, you know, it's like, people can have whatever opinions, but no one's going through the situation you're going through. And I think it's important to have tawakkul, like to trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know that everything is happening for whatever reason it is happening for, whether it's above you, whether you know the reason, it's happening for a reason, and to learn whatever you can from it. And whatever feelings you feel, you're having them for a reason, and just try to explore that and just take it day by day, because it's hard and it's never ending, and I don't know if this pain will ever go away. But I'm also very grateful that I was able to say goodbye to my dad, you know what I'm saying, and like take care of him as he took care of me when I was younger and all of that, you know. But yeah, so it's very hard. Like everyone knows it's hard and it's unimaginable, and like you feel it in your heart, you know what I'm saying. It's not even like it's like you really feel it like all the time. And people think that when they're distracting you that it's like you don't remember it, but it's like a happiness that you like, a temporary joy in a way, like when you're laughing with your friends and stuff like that. But in so many moments you feel it, you just feel it, you know what I'm saying, in the little things, like how my dad drank coffee every morning, seeing someone with a cup of coffee, you know what I'm saying, or people talking about driving. My dad, like, he drove a lot, he was a taxi driver, a bus driver, all this type of stuff, like on the way to school sometimes, like, because on that same morning he passed away, me and my brother went to school first, because we didn't know, obviously, and I was like, Abdul, I feel like I have, my brother's name is Abdul, I was like, Abdul, I feel like I have PTSD because every little thing reminds me of him, and I was like, even though he's still here, you know, and it's just so crazy, subhanAllah, you know, that's what happened. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, so it's very difficult, and you remember them in every single moment, and that's okay. And something my dad always told me, because, and something Subhi said in another one of his videos, was just like, it feels like, why is the world still moving on? Like, why aren't they all grieving the significant loss that we have all felt? Like, because you're feeling it, and you're just like, the impact this person has made on you is so significant. Why isn't everyone else stopping and grieving this with me? And it's just like, my dad always told me, like, time and tide waits for no man. That's an ancient proverb, apparently. I didn't know that, but it's like, no, the world's gonna keep spinning, like, it's gonna keep turning, everyone's gonna keep going about their lives. Whether or not you want to move with it is up to you. I'm not saying to speed up your process of grief or feeling, it's never ending, not to like discourage anyone, but it's just like, you're always going to feel that person. That person was a significant part of your life. Whether or not you had a close relationship with your parent or your loved one, you're still going to feel it, you know what I'm saying. You're going to think about what things you've done with them, which you wish you could have done with them, your relationship to them, whether it was toxic or like loving or anywhere in between that, you know. You're gonna feel that and reminisce on that. So you just feel everything, you just feel, and I think it's important to feel. And it's so crazy as well, because so many people have gone through such similar situations. Like, when I posted that my father passed away, some, like, there were like a handful of people who also lost their parents, and specifically their fathers, through health issues, through whatever. And it's like, wow, like, we all just kind of keep it on the hush hush because people don't know how to react to it when we say it, or they don't know what to say or what to do. But just being there for someone, if you're not someone who has lost anyone, or you know someone who has lost someone, just be there for them. Like, and alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful for everyone who's reached out to me and just like shown their love and care and like compassion for me during this time, because it is a lot. And it's, yeah, I appreciate you, and I'm so thankful. And like, I just kept saying thank you so much, because like, for example, one of my friends, she like, multiple of my friends, they just like were reaching out to me, like asking if I needed the homework, even though I wasn't asking for it in the notes, and like dropping by my house. And it's just like, you know, because you don't think that your impact on someone is significant. And I just keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you, because I'm not even the right mindset to be asking for that stuff, you know. But they're just reaching out and making sure I'm good as well. And they're just like, they said that they just want to return the favor for how kind I've been to them as well. And you know, it's just like, you feel you're such like on a small scale of impact, but in reality, every little thing you do has impacts someone in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's really important to just be kind to everyone, because you don't want you don't want anyone to have anything able to say for you in terms of like the day of judgment, of course, but just in general. And there's no rule book besides the Quran, obviously, on like how to deal with this, and you know, Sunnah and Hadith and everything. But you use that as a source as well, and see how they dealt with things. And just take it on your own. A lot of people haven't experienced this type of death if you have experienced a loved one, unless like typically it's when you're older, you know, not when you're young in your teens. Or like for my little brother, he's 13, you know, and he lost his father, you know, and that's a lot too, and you just want to make sure everyone's good. And it's weird, you know, because it's like who's gonna teach him how to drive and all this type of stuff and all these things. But just being there for each other and checking in on each other and trying to spend quality time with people, because those are the memories that stay, you know. Especially when someone passes away, you think about all the good times, not really all the negative times, unless that's like a predominantly negative relationship you had with them. So you think about all the good times and how they made you feel. So I think it's really important to use that and take it day by day. Make sure you're being present in your life and doing things that you enjoy and living for yourself, because if you're living for yourself and you have the intention of bettering the world, inshallah, it will help someone else out there, and your impact, even if it's just one person, will be felt. And that's another thing. My father, he left such a great impact. Like when people were coming to our house and everything, people I didn't even know, they don't even know me. Like I had to be introduced as his daughter. They don't know who I am. They were just like, yeah, he helped me out. He gave me rides to places. He allowed me to stay with him when I didn't have anywhere to stay. All this type of things, you know what I'm saying? And like just making them tea when they would come over, like little things like that. And it's like no one's perfect, you know, and there's still plenty of things like the arguments with between my parents, or just like, you know, not always understanding where his kids were coming from, even, or like where everyone else is coming from. Like being human, it's a part of life, and it's just like try to allow your loved one to, in their what they have left with you, to live through you, and to use that to grow, and just cherish every moment, and take pictures, record. I'm glad in a way that although we are kind of that like sliding into the over obsessed side of like recording and everything like that, and that side of social media, is also really great that we have the ability to savor these moments and have things to look back on. And yeah, so take more pictures with your parents, spend more time with your parents. I'm trying to do that because I have that bad habit where I spend a lot of time in my room. Like I said, I like to be alone, so I prefer my isolation, but it's good to, even just for an hour, 30 minutes even, just be with your parents and talk to them, ask them some things, you know, and just be in real life, you know, and just be there. I really wanted to, this is a lot, my awkward laugh. It's a lot, but I'm doing okay, alhamdulillah. And once again, thank you so much for everyone who checked in on me. It's very difficult, and it's a lot. It's like a whole nother cake, in the words of my advisor, who I appreciate a lot. It's a lot for sure, but we'll get through it. Allah's there. And another thing that is said in hadith is that I am as my servant thinks I am. So do not limit Allah and limit his ability to help you through this time. Rely on him. And I think experiences like this, Allah is God, if anyone's doesn't know it, but just allow him to help you through this, and use this as an experience to grow and learn from, because it is painful. But I think within our pain, it is also a source and moment for growth, and also growing your iman, you know. I keep saying a lot, I'm sorry, but like use this as a time to connect to Allah, and remember that this dunya, everyone's gonna die, and it hurts to think about, but it's so true. Like death is a reminder that you're gonna die too, and you want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to please Allah and be granted Jannatul Firdaus. And so everyone dies. It's really rough to think about, and like literally I was like, everyone has had a relationship with my father that I don't know about, you know what I'm saying? But I have a relationship to father-daughter relationship. But for example, my mom, like being a widow with like 3 kids now left on your own to take care of, it's a lot. And like losing your best friend, it's a lot. And it's like a complex maze to get through, but remembering that death is inevitable and making your most of your time here, and going deeper into the deen, and like studying sunnah, and just understanding our religion, and how everything is planned out in there, and there's a thing for everything, how widows are supposed to deal with the death of their loved one and the process of that. And like the Prophet ﷺ, he lost his wife, you know, that's a painful thing. Like Allah allowed for all these scenarios to be planned out, so use them as learning, like learning experiences and guidance, and just do your best to try and connect closer to Allah and grow from these experiences. And sometimes you may want to really withdraw because you're like, once again, you're like, Allah, why did you do this? You know, like, I can barely make it, you know, and now it's just another thing. But everything happens for a reason, and you'll be okay, inshallah. Just remember, everything, you're gonna be okay. You need to feel the lows so that you can also enjoy the highs when they come, because it's based around basically the saying that my dad said a lot, which is love is an action word. And take it as you may, take it as you will, but for me personally, I just took it as, something he always told me is like, you can say you love someone as much as you like, but if no one is showing you through their actions that they love you, then is that really love? You know what I'm saying? And that's the same way in like Islam, you know, like you have to pray, you have to fast, you have to make dua, you have to do all this stuff to actually be a Muslim, you know. It's not just saying your shahada and that's it. There's a lot of things that go into, you know, give zakat, all of that stuff. It's an action word. If you love Allah, you have to show it. And if you love your father, if you love your mother, whoever has passed away, your loved one, you should pray for them, make dua. The only thing you can do at this point is make dua for them. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but I really wanted to make this video and just show that you're not alone through this. If you do need someone just to talk to about this grief that you're feeling, I'm here. I know I'm a stranger to you possibly, but I've lost a parent. I may be able to just be there for you. That's all I can offer. I can be there for you and do as much as I can. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for sure, but you'll be okay. You will get through this. We will get through this, inshallah. Just keep praying and seeking out Allah. And yeah, I just wanted to say again, like for the billionth time, thank you guys so much for everything and for being there for me and for being concerned for my well-being and everything. I really truly appreciate it. And for people I'm not even close to reaching out to me as well, I appreciate it beyond words so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm a very closed-off person, and this experience, if anything, throughout this year has taught me to allow people to do whatever it is they do. Allow people to be people, and don't make your own assumptions for them. Allow people to hurt you. Just allow yourself to be human and feel, and don't suppress anything. Feel everything and then deal with everything after. Okay, just feel it and take it day by day. I'm surprised I made it through the video without sobbing. Did you hear that laugh? That was a pain. That was a painful laugh. No, I'm joking. But I'm okay. I know it may not seem that way, but I have dealt with a lot of issues in my life, and I will continue to deal with them, and I think everyone does, and that's why it's important to be there for each other. Spend time with your loved ones, be there for your loved ones, and try and live outside of your phone. I know it's very easy to fall into that and fall into the internet and get lost in the sauce, but remember real life and remember quality time with everyone that you love. Take from this what you will, feel what you feel, and it doesn't mean that you have to suddenly be in love with everyone that's in your life, but just try and see where they're coming from and be compassionate and empathetic. Yeah. Okay, I think I've talked for long enough. It's been about 30 minutes. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna edit. There's a lot of ums, but again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please make dua for my father. Please make dua for everyone else who has lost a loved one, a parent, whatever it may be. And make dua for my mother, my family, my siblings, all of us, that we get through this time with sabr, patience, and that we continue to please Allah, and that He grants us Jannat Firdaus, and grant my father Jannat Firdaus, and everyone else who's lost a loved one, and etc, etc. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this has somewhat helped you out. Assalamu alaikum.